5 signs your marriage is over. My wife has been gone for a few months. We love addressing you directly via the comment area. So please continue to leave your thoughts and questions for us to review. We do these videos for you. In this video, we are responding to 2 comments with the 5 signs that a marriage is over based on how a man responds to a crisis. Here is the first comment. My wife has been gone for a few months, 10 years together, and she's just pulled the plug on all emotions she had for me. She talks and looks at me differently now. She never sees our 1-year-old son. What the F has happened? God, I miss her. By Slaven Yatic. And here is the second comment. Truth is, she doesn't. Folks, separation is not a good thing, period. 5% of separation works and they end up back together, but 80% of separation ends up in a divorce. If your partner wants a separation, it means they have someone else in mind. Comment by AAA. So here we go. Sign number 5.
You feel damages happen overnight. Believe it or not, most men that go through this type of trauma always feel that the woman just changed overnight. Nothing could be further from the truth. Some call it the walk-away wife syndrome. It's basically unhappy wives who leave their husbands. Emphasis on unhappy. There is not one single event that can destroy your marriage. And if you can't comprehend that, comprehend this. Not realizing that damages never happen overnight is a sign that your marriage is over and potentially forever. In fact, your marriage ended a long time ago. So clearly, it's even worse that you haven't been able to pay enough attention to detect this for potentially so long. She didn't just pull the plug on emotions that she had for you. Rather, she had been disconnected from you emotionally long before you realized. Maybe she was trying to protect your feelings and then finally realized that it is a non-sustainable effort. Many women try this and it always fails eventually. Sign number 4.
You use children to manipulate. Naturally, a separation from family, wife, or husband will create trauma for your children, and that's simply part of life. But let's be honest, overreacting to this is obviously the indication that you probably overreacted in many other events in the past. The default is that your children will get dragged through the mud that you and your ex-partner to be have created. It's just the reality. And if you have a hard time facing reality, it's little to no wonder that you will attempt to use your children's trauma to manipulate the direction of things. Is that what you mean by she never sees our 1-year-old son? That precisely is a sign that your marriage is over. It doesn't have to be over if you're willing to indulge in the possibility of a new understanding. Your focus needs to go into working on the evaporated attraction in your romantic relationship because it is the root cause. It is your only point of leverage and there are any further chances. Sign number 3.
You think separation is bad. If you think separation is bad, your marriage is probably over. Saying that is just another manipulative measure to get a person who doesn't want you to stay with you. There's no better way to tell me that you're negotiating desire. It doesn't work. In fact, it will work against your marriage. In addition, pushing against separation is not a way to save your marriage. If at least one of the parties is asking for separation, that marriage is over anyway. But that doesn't mean you can't build a new foundation from scratch with or without the same person. As long as you are obsessed with the idea of sustaining the present terrible state of your marriage, how can you build another foundation? Remember the emphasis on happy? How can you create happiness in a marriage where one person is not happy? I know what you're thinking. Everyone is responsible for their own happiness. You are half wrong because how we feel is a function of our environment. So as long as you are part of your spouse's environment, you're a factor. You are part of the variables that determine our emotional state, but also vice versa. Do wives ever come back after separation? The answer is yes. But how likely is that to happen to you? Sign number 2.
You project stats and data on relationship. Your marriage is over if you project improperly interpreted stats and data on your relationship as facts. Your wife will not come back after separation. So even if we have to take triple A's comments, which is the fact that only 5% of separation works, I guarantee that your personal case will be in the 80% that end up in divorce if you project the stats. It's simple. In the human experience, what you focus on expands.
Yeah.
That principle is undefeated, just like the fact that she wants separation. Data and stats are mostly useful in a class and scholar activities. If you're personally going through crisis in your relationship, focus on learning what it takes to create attraction in your particular situation. You can't do that trying to smother a person who wants to leave with numbers and stats. Tip number 1.
You believe she has someone else in mind. In fact, it's true that many women are right now trying to figure out how to leave their husbands for a different life altogether, not just someone else. She wants to leave. The attempt to make yourself feel better by accusing her of having someone else in mind is just another useless effort to save the marriage. Let's be honest, you will only feel worse, even if it isn't true. Also, you're spreading unnecessary toxic energy. But again, I know what you're thinking. What if it's true that she has someone else? Let me ask you the same question. What if? Is that a good excuse to drag yourself further through the mud? Is that a reality you can't deal with without throwing your whole life away? If the answer is yes, have you considered it as a good reason to obsessively smother the relationship to death? We're speaking from experience. We share our own story inside the book Get My Marriage Back, which you can download for free at www.getmymarriageback.com. Please support this video by hitting the thumbs up and share with us below what you'd like us to cover on the next video.